And welcome to another episode of the Crime Scene Time Machine. I'm your host, Scott Roeder, and I love you, Planet Earth. Joining me today is my good friend, Jim Quirk. Jim, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me, Scott. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Happy early Merry Christmas. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, very nice, very pleasant. It was very good.
Lovely.
I hope you did too.
I did. It was lovely hanging out with my grandchildren and all that stuff and being a new grandfather. So I've been watching your show. Great job. I just love your energy and the way you keep attacking the UAP phenomenon and the UFOs. And I just got to give you all the credit in the world, man. You are a professional, and I give you all the credit for you carrying the banner on the hard work that we've done on the Las Vegas case over this 2024, 2025 season. And how are things going on your end? Are you getting a lot of good feedback on the work that you've been doing on the Las Vegas case on your channel?
Yeah, there was several people that are getting like some of my subscribers are tired of me talking about it. Actually, I'm tired of myself talking about it. I mean, the whole reason, one of the reasons I keep talking about it all the time is just I still can't believe where's the rest of the UFO community. That's one of the reasons why I keep talking about it. But there's always something new that comes up with it. So there's always some new interesting facet I think that deserves attention because to me it's the biggest story of all time, as we've been both saying, because it proves that there's some sort of intelligence here with us that's apparently not human.
Well, I would agree with you on all accounts. And, we haven't had an in-depth conversation after I got snubbed from the Ancient Aliens show with my 5 second debut on the show where they totally just undercut us and didn't play the footage and didn't even play my interview. Sat for a 3 hour interview. They played 5 seconds. If that's not a deliberate boondoggling of truth, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I mean it was absurd. I mean the idea that they flew you out there, they actually paid for all your expenses. They provided you a payment on top of it,
Yeah,
and then they interview you for almost 3 hours. You provide all this data to them. They use absolutely none of it except for what I think it was like 10 seconds of you talking, and that was it.
yeah. I didn't even bother watching it after I got the reviews from people.
Well,
Um,
I don't know if I just want to point out really quick here, it was just recently where the History Channel also ran another show now called The Unbelievable with Dan Aykroyd, and it was
yeah,
like a similar kind of situation. They only spent 3.6 minutes on this. It was like 20 minutes into the show. They treated it like just any other case. A lot of those other cases don't have the evidence like the Vegas case does.
yeah.
They just, lump it in there like, maybe, maybe not. So that's three times now this year. The proof is out there, and then Ancient Aliens, which you participated in, and now The Unbelievable with Dan Aykroyd. There's obviously some sort of an effort out there to suppress this story or make it look like it's not that big of a deal for some reason.
Maybe I should have wore a medallion or some kind of a, thing or a funny hat or, something like that to fit in with the vibe they have over there. And just for the record, just so everybody out there is straight, I ended up sending an email to the executive producer of Ancient Aliens, and I said, I'm really disappointed and insulted at the way you treated this case, and don't bother calling me again. I'm done with you. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're not honest players in the disclosure movement, and that's just how I feel about it for what that's worth. But on to other things. I'm not going to say bigger, better things, but on to other things. And I'm going to be unveiling to you for the first time a new, I guess, UAP NHI video that I was sent by a very nice gentleman in Rhode Island. And I think he'll be fine to that I read this, and I'll make sure that he's okay with it. But his name is John, and he's from Rhode Island, and he sent me these videos and said the title was "For My Information Cloaking Video," and he says, "Scott, I installed a few security cameras for looking at some phenomenon that was happening in my yard. I've had feelings occasionally while sleeping of being in a state of paralysis and intense fear, but when I wake, I can't remember the details. Not sure if any connection can be drawn between the two, whatever it is. I don't think it's friendly. Inside the house, I get translucent floating orbs as well, as opposed to the ones on the video that are much brighter. All the cameras are disconnected now until I finish some remodeling. I'll have them back up, I'm sure, and I'll catch something again. I normally post these on my YouTube channel. Not many people watch it. I'm a retired guy in Rhode Island. Merry Christmas, John. So that being said, that's John's story. It sounds like a similar story to our friend in Toronto with the sleep paralysis and the things that he was experiencing. Don't you see there's some similarities there, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. It does seem like there's some similarities. You're talking about this gentleman that was in contact with you and me, and he was having experiences that sound very similar to what you're talking about here, with stuff showing up in his room. He tried to film some things too, but he really didn't capture what apparently what you were telling me on the phone earlier today. This video is ring camera video, and so this is something that could not have been faked
No.
from what I understand, and it lasts for 2 minutes. And
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's
on camera for 2 minutes, and at one point you're going to see a single orb come in to view from the porch, and and it's very small and bright, but then it comes toward the camera. It's bigger. I'd say maybe the size of a baseball. Okay. And it comes in and it's kind of floating across the porch, which I'm estimating to be about maybe 10 feet wide. And then when it gets to the right side of the screen, the orb splits into two and then goes to either end of the camera and just floats there. And it's fascinating. I think it's better than anything I've seen from Chris Bledsoe as far as orbs go. And now, and this is the first time I'm reading that message, so to hear that he's having paralysis and intense fear, um, I think that's interesting. So let me go ahead and share the screen so that you can see the stuff for the first time. So here
yeah.
is, and I loved your live reaction. Let me see. Let me go full screen. Let me go full screen here to make sure that I got it going. Let me see. How do I do this? Oh, and there we go. Okay. Now, can you see that on your screen, Jim?
I see. Yes.
Okay. All right, so there, I'm just going to make it go full screen. That's about as good as I think I can get it. And it's about 2 minutes, so let's hit play. So here's the orb coming in right at the date, 8/28/2024. And you can hear the crickets crackling. That's a pretty big size orb, maybe the size of a baseball even.
Yeah.
It's floating around there. Now, it's not a guy with a flashlight, and it's not ring cam, it's RP
Red
link,
link.
red link, okay. So that's another kind of form of a ring camera. And now,
Wow.
when we get about halfway through, watch, it's going to come over to the right side of the screen. It's going to split into two.
This thing is very solid looking here too, I
Yeah.
must say. I mean, it must have been to see it with your own eyes, it would have seemed very bright.
Yeah.
I would have to imagine. But wow, yeah, that is very weird. It's just hanging out there, moving around every now and then, and now
Yeah.
and there it goes. Wow. This
And
is very look
there's
at it, it's
no,
changing
oh,
shape.
look at that. Yeah. Now, this is where it gets really crazy.
You see that? It changes shape.
Yeah. I'm going to move us
That
over
is,
to this side so you can see it. Now, check this out. This is where it gets crazy. It's getting bigger and bigger. Now it's probably triple the size as it was. And now look at this. It's going to split into two.
wow. This is amazing. Look at that. Wow.
And there's more.
What the hell are we looking at? This is the strangest thing.
Look at that.
Wow. It seems like they have a life of their own.
Yeah.
This reminds me there was a woman from Germany
What
who
was that
said,
that just flew by the screen?
I don't
Did
know,
you see
there
that?
could have
Hold on a second. Let me go
yeah, let's
back
look at
here.
that again. But
I
this
saw, oh,
reminds
look at,
me,
what's that? That could be a bug. What is
yeah,
that?
that could be a bug. Yeah, that's an insect, it
Was
looks
that a
like.
bat?
Maybe a bat or an insect.
Hold
I'm not
on.
sure. We're gonna have to well, that's gonna
Look
be
at that.
something
Is that a,
you're gonna have to
look
go
at that.
back and look at that
That looks like a
closer.
bat. It's
I
coming
don't know.
in. It's coming right there. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't know
But
what
that
it is,
almost
Scott.
looks translucent as well.
I don't know what that is, Scott. I think you're gonna have to take you're probably gonna have to take a closer look at it. It
Yeah, I
might
know.
not, it
This is
might be
my
an
first
insect, it
time
might be a
really.
bat, but it might be something else.
Yeah, but look at how that it's almost I can see I don't think it's a solid because look, you can see the bars of the railing through it.
I I'm not sure. I mean, it could be
Look at
like,
that. Right
yeah,
there. You can see the bars through it.
through it, yeah, in some certain spots.
Yeah. All right, let's start back from here.
It seems like some spots were more solid than others.
Look at that.
This reminds me of what, there was a story not long ago where I was talking to this woman from Germany who had an experience with an orb that seemed like it had a life of its own. And she was sitting on a balcony with a friend, and this orb came up to them. And when they noticed it, it noticed that they noticed it, and then it took off real fast, like it had a life of its own. That's what this looks like. This looks like these, whatever this is, it looks like it has a life of its own. Like it just, and then it splits apart.
And if you look at down here where there's a plant sitting in the corner, it
Uh-huh.
looks like there's absolutely no wind whatsoever because there's no leaves moving on here. And this is a pretty large porch. Each one of these panels are probably about 4 feet. So we're looking at maybe, 12 to 15 feet from corner to corner, and maybe 6 feet from here to here. So like maybe a 6 by 15 porch. And then if we can get a size comparison here, I'm thinking this might be the size of a softball,
Yeah, even
maybe a
bigger.
little bit
I
bigger.
think bigger.
But then
Wow,
it
this is
comes in,
something
it goes
else.
out. Look how it's bouncing like
This
that.
is amazing stuff, Scott. This is
Yeah.
amazing video. And that's the thing with this kind of stuff. I mean, you're able, I don't know
Wait,
how
I just
deep.
saw that thing again. Look it back here, right there.
Yeah, right there.
There's that
What is
thing again.
that? What is that? Yeah, that's
And
gonna
you
be
know what's
something.
also interesting, Jim? And if I back this thing up from the beginning, let's look at it over here.
Let me just say something, Scott. That does
Yeah,
not look, after looking at that second time there, like in that from that view, it doesn't look like an insect or a bat. I don't know what it is. The other thing, right?
yeah,
That line looking thing.
yeah. And but look how it cuts through the air like that, almost like there's something behind it. Because like right here, there's like okay, so right here, it doesn't look like there's anything behind it, but then as we move it through, it looks like there's like some distortion around the object cutting through the smoke. But then when it comes into this, it kind of joins with that object behind it, or maybe that's just some kind of lens flare. But then this part is the crazy part. Look at this. It goes from this almost solid, now it's like changing shapes here, more
Yeah,
like elongated. It's got a like a filter around it, like it's cutting through the atmosphere. And then it cuts into this and it gets real big. And like, oh, and there's that thing, right?
yeah.
That comes in, whatever that is.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. That is all of this is very, very bizarre.
And now this is where it gets bizarre. Now, look at that.
I
Look
know.
at that
It's
right there.
splitting. It's splitting in half.
Yeah,
And
it's
we've heard reports like this over the decades of objects splitting in two and then taking off on their own separate paths.
wait,
But
what's
this
that?
is not.
I think I see something in it. Like if you look right there,
I'm gonna
and
pull my.
now look right there. Now right about there. If you look at the second smaller orb, it's not quite shaped all the way, and it looks like there's an indention in it, almost like an arrow right there.
Right.
And I'm wondering if I'm just going through it again. Oh, look, it looks like there's an object, or maybe that could be a tree, a tree leaf, possibly from a bush or a shrub that's kind of interjecting into that secondary circle. And then I'm keeping a look at the rest of the environment as well to see what else I can see. I'm reversing it. There's that
There's
ice
that object.
again.
I don't know. Whatever
It's
that
like a
is.
whatever that is. It's got three segments to it here.
Three segments. Yeah,
Yeah,
it has an object that has three segments on it. I
yeah.
mean, maybe there's somebody out
And
there who is an
it's not a
expert on
bat.
insects.
No, I
No,
don't
it's
think
not a
it's a
bat.
bat anymore. At first I thought
No.
it was a bat, but then it's on the railing and now it's coming over and it like goes into the orb.
Does
Isn't
it?
that
Yeah.
interesting?
Could we play it from the beginning to end and just look, check, and talk to it as we're going through it? Like
Sure,
just
sure,
see a
sure. I'm
normal
just
view.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to see, yeah, I want to see just the movement of it again. This is great stuff, Scott.
Yeah, let me go all the way to the
Wow.
beginning again. Let's see what we
This
got.
is
Okay.
and this I was just talking just recently a few weeks ago or a month, I don't know how long ago it was now, a month and a half maybe, where I was sitting outside. I don't know if I told you about this. I did talk about it on one of my shows where I saw it was a nice day. It was a fall day. You could see the leaves were falling down from the trees. It was just a beautiful day. The sun was going down, but it was really bright out. And I saw a couple of dandelion puffs floating through the air. And then
Mm,
I was looking at one. I thought it was a dandelion puff, but I realized, wait a minute, that thing's not moving, and it's very breezy out here. And it was about the size of like a golf ball, maybe a little bit bigger, and it
hmm.
was glowing,
Yeah.
right? And so when I saw that, I was thinking, wait a minute, that's not moving. It was just a couple of doors down, like one of my neighbor's houses. It was floating like maybe a couple of stories off the ground. And so I grabbed my cell phone, I start walking up the steps into the backyard, and then the thing took off real fast in a straight line. It was like it noticed me, but I'm not sure about it. I don't know if it was a dandelion puff and I just was fooled and I misidentified something, or if it was some sort of a small orb or not. I don't know.
Interesting. Well, this ain't no dandelion puff, I'll tell you
No,
that.
this is definitely not a dandelion puff. This is definitely, it's bigger than a softball. I would say it's probably somewhere between a softball and a basketball from what it looks like to me.
That's
In
my
between.
one of my consultants are
Maybe a little bit smaller than a soccer ball, perhaps.
okay. But look at this right here. I'm gonna pause it there for a second. It almost looks like there's something around it here,
Yeah, there does.
behind it.
I this is one of the strange things that we know I've been noticing in the videos from the Vegas case and then the Compton alien
Wow.
case. Look at
Look at
that
that.
when it
And
splits
look at the
out.
thing behind it dissipated.
Right. There's like some sort of a fog that they're using, or looks like fog on film. Anyhow, you see it in the Vegas case, and you also see it in the Compton alien case. There's like a fog that looks like a fog, but then it completely disappears all of a sudden. Now it
There's that
does look like
thing
it was
again.
foggy out here. I mean, was it foggy that night?
Well, we can look up the weather for Rhode Island, August 28th of 2024 and see.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how to explain this at all. I don't know what the explanation would be. I don't know what is this? I mean, what would a scientist, someone who would be learned in something like this, what would they say if they looked at this? What would they tell us it is? Some sort of a plasma event, maybe? Is
Well,
that what they would?
I think if Mick West looked at it, he'd say it was a raccoon.
Maybe a coyote. You know what?
Could be a
He might say a
coyote.
coyote or
Um,
shadow. Maybe it's a shadow.
it could be a shadow. It could be a traveling band of puppeteers to throw
Could
that one
be.
out again. That's
Yeah.
always one of my favorites. Uh, but
This is amazing. So then it's just stopped at this point. This is the full
yeah,
video. It just
yeah, this is the whole
so
video. I could interview him. I think he'd be very willing to be interviewed, and I'd like to find out more about his sleep paralysis and feelings of fear. I think
so
that is a big intersection with our friend in Toronto. Um, and so, but then there's another video here. So let me
is
uh,
this was this a motion activated camera? I'm
I
assuming.
believe it is. I believe it is,
I
but.
wonder why why would it stop filming all of a sudden?
Well, I mean, I know my Ring camera only does bursts of like 30 seconds, but
Okay.
that's how I have the settings, you know.
Okay, so he
Uh,
probably has it set up to 2 minutes.
yeah,
He probably
yeah.
that's probably the
Or
explanation for it.
but as long as somebody's in front of my camera, let's say if there's a FedEx delivery guy, if the FedEx delivery guy stays in front of my camera for 2 minutes, it'll record all 2 minutes.
I wonder if it would have kept filming. I guess I'll just throw this out here. Okay, it looks like they moved to two different positions, the
Yep,
two objects, and
yep.
then they just stayed there and stopped moving and then eventually just disappeared.
All right, you ready to see the second video?
Yes.
This is from the same gentleman, and this is let's look at the date.
Is it the same date?
I don't know. I gotta make the screen bigger here. Hold on.
I see 8/28, 2024.
Yeah, it's the same date.
Okay.
Uh, same date. I'm not sure if this is the same time.
Yeah, we have to check that out. We'll have
Yeah.
to check that out.
Yeah. We'll look at it for the same time. Let's go make this full screen so we can see it. All right. Now, this is much more subtle, and the activity is happening around this door up here, and then it kind of floats through here in this area. Okay, this area, when I looked at the video for the first time, I didn't see much, although now I see a bird's nest right here. This is interesting. We see like looks like a bottle that you would de-weed the driveway with. That could be like some anti-insect repellent. And
That's
then here
definitely
we
a bird's
have
nest.
some charcoal bricklets for like a fire pit or like a barbecue. And then looks like we have I don't know what that is there. And then this definitely is a bird's nest on like a little shelf. And
Right.
then some kind of maybe some more charcoal bricklets here. We've got a couple of steps and we've got a screen door that looks like it's open. We've got a telephone pole or another like a porch support pole, another porch support pole. Okay. This one again is 2 minutes long. And it looks like it's the same date. I think we'll have to go back and look at to see if it's the same time, but let's play it. And I'm going to move us over to here.
Yeah, I have to move mine around too.
Yeah.
I have to
So
do
it's going to be over in this area here. First, I start seeing something behind the door. Again, you can hear the crickets.
I'm not hearing the sound of the
Okay.
video on
Yeah,
my
on
end.
my
Maybe
end.
it's something on my end
And
I
I
need
think
to
for
do.
the people, they're going to be able to hear it. But okay, I just saw. Okay, let me just get it out of the way. Let's just watch it.
Okay, yeah. What is that? I see something moving down there.
Yeah.
Hmm. Is that what we're talking about? That movement by the door?
Yep. And then you're going to see some stuff here, right there.
Right there. Okay.
There it is, right there.
What in the world was hmm.
There it is
Wow.
again. There it is. There it is.
Something invisible. Something using invisibility or cloaking of some
Hmm.
kind, possibly.
Hmm.
I mean, because if this was at I mean, we have to look at the other the timestamp from the other camera.
Yeah, and if we can sync it
Is
up,
this the same thing? If it's the
it
same
could,
time, that really
if this is the basement rear door. Oh, wait, look at that. That was some serious movement over here.
I know I've been watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need at some point. I want when this is over. I want to go back. I want to see what was moving by the door down there. That's something. There was something there. It looked like. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
just coming off the edge, right
Hmm.
there. Like what is that?
Yeah. Okay, so here, oh, there it is again. There it is again.
Yeah.
Up on the top area. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of that video. So let's go back.
Well, something did come off the door again right toward the end. I
Look at
noticed
that
again a
right there.
second time. But yeah, I don't know. And then you
Move
have
this
the
out
other
of the way.
thing.
Hold on.
Yeah. And then you have there
Right
right there.
there, right there.
And it does it again later.
Hold on, let's look at that.
What could that be? Some sort of anomaly is all you could say.
Oh, that's
Whatever it is, it's an anomaly that I don't think we're going to find an answer to. Just by at first blush, that's what I'm going to say. And then you have the other anomalous stuff going on here with
well,
this.
here, here I just had a thought. What if the layout of his, first of all, let's check the dates here. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's get
got to
this
do
out of
that.
the way and
All
let's
right.
open up this guy again or this guy again. Okay. So, maybe if we can do it this way.
449.
Okay. This is 8:24 at
828,
0:34.
24, and I have it written down
Yeah.
449, 45.
Okay. So this is at a little after midnight and this is at almost 5 in the morning. But the
Okay,
same day, the same
but
day.
the same day. Okay.
Yeah. And it's interesting here, all of this fuzzy stuff. I don't see any of that. Can you see both of them up on the screen at the same time?
No, I'm seeing just the one,
Okay.
the second one you were showing.
Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah. So very interesting stuff. And, that activity above the door is like definitely some shadows. Certainly the first one is more compelling. But here, look at that stuff.
I'm trying to, yeah, I don't, I'm trying to see. It looks like whatever that is, it's actually, I mean, it could be that the one in the background. I guess there's always the possibility it could be a glare from something else that's not on screen.
What if it's a glare from, what if the cameras aren't timed up and it's actually the same time and this is a reflection from the porch above it?
Could be something like that.
You know what I mean?
But the strangest thing to me on the video was what you see popping out on the edge of the door
Yeah,
on the
right
bottom
there.
and left, right there. Like,
Yeah.
what is that? Like that doesn't. It looks like I don't even know what to say. It's just like a like a piece of card, like it's a straight line of something, the
Yeah.
edge of something that just
Yeah.
peeks out on the side of the door and then just goes back. That's right there is very strange to me. That's the strangest part about the second video to me was that whatever that is, why would something like that happen? What? I mean, what would explain that? I don't know.
I don't know. But I think if we're putting on our debunker hat, which I hate putting that hat on because, although I do like debunking things,
Yeah.
you know, um, I think debunking has a place in the disclosure world. Especially when it comes to, my opinion, guys that are putting out reckless material or unverified.
Corridor crew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or, guy like crop circles and irrigation ditches and FLIR videos, which may not have chain of custody and so on and so forth. So it is good to use discernment, but I wonder. It doesn't seem like that's what ball lightning is it? Could it be ball lightning?
You hear that, but see, there's no evidence of ball lightning. When you look into ball lightning, there's really not evidence of it out there. Like, like how could you prove it? That's something that really hasn't really been proven, I don't think.
Yeah.
Um, we need to look more into this. I don't know. I think this is the first time I've seen it. You just got this video
Yep.
just in the last couple of days, right?
Yep.
So I mean, you didn't have a chance to look at it yet and think
Actually,
about
I
it.
didn't download it until this morning, about an hour ago when I
Well,
called
there
you.
you go. I
Yeah.
mean, I think this is something we need to take a closer look at. It looks very strange. I mean, it looks like with the in the first video, it looks like that thing is moving around and has a mind of
Yeah.
its own, and then it splits into two, and then the video ends. I wonder, what is it? I mean, some people were talking about plasma, like that. Maybe there's some plasma life forms possible. Is that what it is, or is it some sort of NHI?
Well, you know what
I
it
mean, this guy's
reminds.
saying has the experiences too, right?
Well, you know what it reminds. Yeah, yeah, we just read the experiences, and I'll contact him to get more information later. But I thought that this was, I had a little bit of a break in my. I've been very busy with my crime scene business, and we're doing a lot of interesting things, but strictly in the terrestrial world of human murder and human things. So I haven't been very active in my phenomenon related investigations. Excuse me. Although. I am going to be doing a filming tomorrow with Paige Fox on the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which I think will be pretty compelling and interesting. Um, the UFO phenomenon, I think, is continuing to be, I think, extremely interesting and hard to track down, who the legitimate players are in the business. And if there's one thing that I know, the people that can be trusted to give an unbiased opinion, it's people like you, Jim. People who use discernment, imagination, creativity, and being fearless to talk about these issues in a way not a lot of other people are doing it. So hats off to you for all your contributions. I think you're one of the important contributors to the field and the world of disclosure. Now, why don't you tell my listeners how they can reach you, how they can see your channel, and so on, and then I'll let you give yourself a little plug here.
Well, my channel is on YouTube. It's called Quirk Zone, QUIRK Zone, like the Twilight Zone, except Quirk Zone. And the name of the podcast is called UF. It's called Extraterrestrial Reality. On Spotify, you can find my channel. It's called UFO dash Extraterrestrial Reality. They're the two main platforms that I use. Except it is my show is also available on other platforms, except the other platforms like Apple, for instance, or Amazon. It's only audio only. I do video podcasts every single time. And you will find them both, the video versions on Spotify and YouTube on those channels, Quark Zone and UFO Extraterrestrial Reality. And on all the other platforms, the audio versions are available on UFO Extraterrestrial Reality. So it is, check it out if you have the time, and I would appreciate it. And thanks for the plug, Scott.
Oh, absolutely, Jim. And on behalf of, and I'm going to let Jim do the final tagline because I just love the way he does it so much. On behalf of Jim Quirk, I'm Scott Roeder. I love you, Planet Earth.
Okay, thank you all for joining us here today. Until next time.